So it's very important with chatbots that we not only gather this information, but we also migrate it and export it to other places for easy access. Because right now, the way that this works on the back end of you, the bot developer, is that you can see when people message your page on the back end, you can see all the different paths that they go through when using the bot, the different buttons they use, the blocks they're redirected to. And you can even see, yes, the user input data that they enter. However, that would be a very time-consuming and inefficient task for you to manually go in and copy and paste each input that they enter into something else like a spreadsheet or something like that. So the most simple way to avoid this problem of having to manually go in and copy and paste every user input into some sort of comprehensible data sheet is simply to use the Send Email plugin. So how does that work? So how it works is scroll down after the user input plugin that you've input and set up, go to add a new plugin and choose the Send Email plugin, okay? Now it's very important. I know earlier I said that order doesn't always matter. In this case, it's very important. So I said that for the setting up a user attribute, and it didn't matter at that time because at any point on the block where a user gets, then they're going to trigger that user attribute. In this case, though, it's very important that the send email goes anywhere after the user input, because if you don't do that, it's going to send an email to you, the bot developer, or whoever you want the email to be sent to, without any of these attributes, because at that point, if you do it before, that data won't be entered yet. So this is very important to do, to send the email after the fact. So now we can include this data in a comprehensible way again. So for the title, let's say new catering order or new catering inquiry. And for the email, I'm just going to send it to myself, but you can send it to anybody. It doesn't have to be just you or an email that, like the Stripe case was, it doesn't have to be an email that's connected to you in any way. It can be sent to anybody. And also, if you want to, you can send emails to multiple different people. So I can send it to myself, I can send it to someone else by separating it with a comma, etc. So there's lots of flexibility with this, but in this case, I'm just going to send it to myself. Then for the email body, you enter all the user attributes. And the really cool thing, one of the biggest benefits with Facebook bots, as I mentioned earlier, is that you already have so much data from Facebook because people fill out their profiles and you have that data to use. So notice in this contact form, I never asked for the person's name like I would have had to do on a website. Instead, I already have their name. I know their name because they've used the bot using their Facebook profile. So the cool thing that I can do is let's set up the email body of how this will look when I receive a new inquiry. So I'll say name, and then what we can do is use the pre-existing attributes for that person. So I'll say include the first name, include the last name, and then we'll start actually employing the different attributes that we've set up in this contact form. So first let's do date. Then we will continue with email, attendees, and phone. So right now, I'm just inputting this so the person on the receiving end of this email, the person responding to these emails, will know what sort of data they're dealing with. For example, if somebody enters for the date just 01.01.01 signifying January 1st, 2001, if we don't maybe include this information, this identifier before the actual attribute, they might not know what that data means. So you don't have to do this, but I just do it for ease of understanding. So now let's include all the attributes that we set up earlier. Attendees. And then lastly, phone. Great, so this is all you really need for a basic setup with the Send Email plugin and completing a form. So again, what we've have set up is people go from the welcome message to the contact form, which links here, and then immediately they're asked, what's the date of your event? They go through this series of answering questions, and then after that, it sends an email to me, the bot developer, and then After the fact too, I don't just want to leave the person hanging. I want to confirm that we've received the message, that it got sent to us. So at the end, you can just add something simple like, thanks for your inquiry. We'll be in touch soon. And then you can personalize too with the person's first name if you want. So again, that's a super simple way how to set up a contact form. And in the next couple videos, I'll show you how to even integrate more advanced data migration techniques for a contact form.